Okay, guys, we're about to take our last section of notes. Make sure that you went and took attendance first. All right, so we're going to learn about Sandy Shores, Part 4. And what you are going to do is you're going to label your notes ginormous across the top for your poor blind teacher. You are going to either handwrite them and take pictures of them and submit the pictures to Schoology, or you're going to handwrite them in Notability and submit that to Schoology. But either way, you are submitting your handwritten notes to Schoology for me to see. So let's talk about Sandy Shores, why they're important, what's threatening them, and how we can help. So, first off, why are they important? Let's be selfish and say that they're important because we like going there. Okay, recreational opportunities. Do you like to fish? Do you like to surf? Do you like to sunbathe? Fly kite? Build sandcastles? Sand angels? Any of those things. Okay, it's important because we enjoy going there. Also, super important because it provides a unique habitat for a whole bunch of different plants and animals. I know a lot of you think that there are not a lot of animals that live there, but there are. There's a massive amount of animals that live in the sand, and those are called infauna. A lot of the times you just can't see them, and sometimes I'm kind of glad. I mean, do you want to see those isopods and amphipods? Or those bristleworms? I bet you guys have seen the coquinas and the moon snails, though, right? All right, there is also epifauna. Those are the animals that live on the surface of the sediment, and those are going to be our crabs and our birds. Okay, so it's important because it provides a habitat for a whole lot of organisms. All right, sandy shores are also important because they act as a buffer. Think about when a hurricane comes and they show you how much of the beach is gone after a hurricane comes. Okay, so a buffer against high winds and waves of the powerful storms. All right, let's not lie. Spring break brings in a lot of money in Daytona, right? And it's not just that. There's shipping, there's deep sea fishing, there's the food. So economically, beaches are very, very important. All right, so threats. First one is called beach grooming, and that's when we remove debris and seaweed from the sandy beaches because we want a nice place to lay down. And it really does disrupt the natural process, and it can injure native species. Seaweed that gets tossed by the storm onto the shoreline should be left there to decompose because organisms are going to eat it. Okay? Remember how perfectly God designed all of our ecosystems, where everything that dies gets decomposed and the nutrients go back into the cycle of all of the world. Nothing is wasted. God was the most considerate recycler of all. All right, coastal armoring is another threat to sandy shores. A lot of times people will build seawalls or other structures to prevent the natural erosion of shorelines. And imagine if you were a sea turtle that came back to the very same beach that you were born at to nest, and you tried to crawl up the beach to get up the beach, and you tried to lay a nest. Well, what happens is they can't get past that. They lay it here, and when the tide comes in, those eggs get washed away. All right, pollution. I've talked about it all year long, and you know that there are many, many types of pollution. It can be physical pollution like trash, or it could be stuff carried down rivers or storm drains and be like fertilizers that can disrupt the ecosystem too. Pollution is a really big threat, and I'd like to take this moment right here to tell you why you should cut those. Okay, all you got to do is do a couple little snips, and then it's not going to get entangled in a creature. And these are the caps that are on your water bottles. I mean, look at, he's stuck in fishing line. This poor hermit crab doesn't even have a shell. He has a bottle cap. And of course, the sea turtles that eat the plastic because in the water it looks like a jellyfish. You can do your part. You can cut these off the water bottle. You can cut these. These are recyclable in my room if you bring them to me. And if you use a canvas bag, that's not going to happen either. There are things that you personally can do. All right, now human impacts in addition to the pollution. Let's talk about sewage spills, oil spills, and of course the plastics. Those are all big types of pollution. Okay? Now, if you're interested, there is a National Geographic article where they have done in-depth studies on a North Carolina barrier item that's called the Outer Banks. And you can see that the actual homes where people were living are actually getting swallowed into the ocean. It's kind of cray-cray. All right, and then of course our coastal development with our habitat destruction, because we like to live on the beach. All right, so what can we do? Conservation and preservation. When you're at the beach, and I'm not saying don't go, but whatever you take in, take out. Stay on the well-worn paths. Don't walk on the plants, because in those plants are the animals. And remember, if you walk on the plants, you might be disturbing their roots. So if you actually walk on it, it will actually make part of the ecosystem disappear. All right, don't bring in invasive species, or if you do see an invasive species, remove it from the ecosystem. If you're gonna go boating, practice green boating techniques, okay? Don't litter. The Princess Cruise Lines has been fined over $40 million for dumping garbage straight into the ocean. And for them, it was probably cheaper to pay the fine than to actually truck out all of the garbage. That's a really big problem. Avoid cruising on Princess Cruise Lines. Show them that that's not okay. All right. You can plant and preserve the natural vegetation buffer of the waterfront. If you go in and you plant endemic species that are native to the ecosystem, you're going to reduce erosion, and that's going to be a big part. Okay? Obviously, what I said before, don't dump. Okay? Make sure that you're not using motor oil or paints or solvents and pesticides and batteries. Don't just throw those in the regular garbage. They all have places to go. Okay? So plastic kills, so kill plastic. Okay, they're hazardous waste. You know there's a special way to get rid of your batteries, right? So, be responsible. Park the car. Okay, consider using your car less frequently or switching to a more fuel-efficient model. Take the bus. Carpool. Engines that leak onto roads are washed into fresh water, and we know that all fresh water will eventually lead to the ocean. Reduce, reuse, and recycle, even the fishing line. So here, see, if you cut these, you can prevent that. Okay, the fishing lines that get stuck in our poor animals. That almost on every dock or pier that you go to, you will see this. This is strictly for you to put in your fishing lines. And again, please, please, please use a canvas bag. Don't take plastic bags from the store. Participate in beach cleanups. Clean up garbage if you go to the beach. I always have a canvas bag with me when I go for a walk on the beach, and not only do I pick up garbage, but I also don't take away the shells, okay? Also, you can become involved. You can donate to help. I mean, you even get a really cool bracelet from the 4Ocean place. Oceana, the Ocean Conservancy, and the Nature Conservancy are all really reputable places that you can be involved in. And that's it. Get involved. Join a community. Do stewardship. Go to your favorite beach and help keep it clean. Learn about our local wildlife and contribute to land use decisions. Listen. Teach others what you know. Okay? If I have taught you nothing else this year, please take away that you can actually make a difference. You can be the change that you want to see in the sea. And that, my friends, is the end. You've done it. You have made it to the end of Sandy Shores, which is the end of marine biology this year. I hope that you really do know that your actions do make a difference. And every single person that makes that difference, it can just be cumulative, like the butterfly effect. I do hope that you enjoyed your year with me, and especially when you go to the beach, the Sandy Shores, that you can see the berms and the dunes, and you can watch the swash and the backwash, and you can learn about the infauna and epifauna, and it's just something that you can apply in your life when you go to the beach. And I do hope that you come visit me next year. I miss you, and I'll be praying for you, and I hope that you have a safe and healthy summer. Bye-bye.